Welcome to the channel. This week on the Kiwi Barefoot Gardener, we tackled the rambling rose over the arbour in the front garden. We pruned the raspberries, both this summer and autumn fruiting. Come bottle with me in the garden. My name is Dawn and I am the Kiwi Barefoot Gardener. Good afternoon. It's Saturday and it is finally stopped raining here. It's really nice to see the blue sky for a change and not howling wind or rain. It's a bit ironic actually because 3-4 weeks ago I was grizzling about the lack of rain and that the soil needed rain, and we've now had a week of rain. However, I've got a bit of cabin fever after being stuck inside for a week, so even though it's bitterly cold out here still and I am in the shade rather than in the sun, I'm out here. I mean, as you can see, it's cold enough for me to have the big jumper on with the bright you can't miss me thing, but unfortunately it's also so bulky that the mic doesn't sit onto it, so I have to hand hold it. So what have I come out for other than to freeze myself and some time outside? I've actually come out to start pruning the rambling rose. I'm not going to be able to get through all of it today because the ground's too boggy for me to have a ladder up, even with someone hanging onto it for me while I do the chop bit, but I thought I would at least make a start on it and see how much I can get through on it. We are going to do rose pruning properly in the next week or two. Rather than showing you on this rose, I'll show you on the roses out the back because it's a bit easier to get the camera in and things like that. But I just thought I'd bring you out here and we'll do a wee bit of speedy and get started on the rose. There is some stuff I do want to show you about the specific rose later, but it's more when we get up further. So we'll talk about that when I get to that bit. In the meantime, I'm just doing the lower bits that I can reach standing on the ground. About me done for the day. I've done a reasonable amount of the rose. Next I need to actually probably climb up onto the edge of the raised box and have my feet on either side of it where those bigger boards are. So I'll need to get a bit of help to get up there. So plus the ground's a bit soft for me to use a step stool or a ladder or something like that to get that far. And then I will get most of that stuff out. I'll have to go to my neighbour's place and get a bit out, but we've already discussed that. So I'll get everything I can on the side done and then pop over and do it on their side. Now the thing I wanted to talk about, and I'll try and show you more when I do it, is identifying something called long leaders. So you would have seen me pulling out several long branches and what have you. They were heading straight up. I could have pulled them across the top and taken them down. However, I've already done probably at least 3 or 4, maybe a few more. I have to get up. I'll have to look and identify them when I'm up there. So I've already got really what I want as far as long leaders. I'm trying to work it down and around over there. Now it's just at the top corner here, so that's good, and hopefully this year I'll be able to get those long leaders to come down this side. Now they're not going to do a hell of a lot of flowering or growing on that side because that's the shade side, for a better word, but if I can get them down at least part way, that would be nice. They'll get the summer sun as it goes around that way. So yeah, that's the idea, but I'll show you the long leaders. Rambling roses are a wee bit different from like the bush roses or the standard roses or even climbers. Climbers, yes, you want to have 3, maybe 4 really strong shoots up to give yourself a nice fan. Ramblers, because you're wanting to train them up and over something usually, you want those really, really, really long leaders. So, and then you might think I've probably cut that back really hard, but ramblers grow literally rampant. So you've got to cut it right back. And with it, I always cut the branches that are heading down, because they can look quite nice, but then they start competing with those that are going up. So yeah, you just got to choose what you want to do. For me, downwards I cut off. Someone else might like their downward ones and for them to drape, and it's also depending on what you've got it going over. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go and find a nice hot cup of tea and try and thaw my nose out because it's cold as. I had a couple of visitors. Lou and Bo came through at one point, and even the little fluffy cat that comes over and plays with them, he came over and had hello, I haven't seen you for a long time sort of confrontation. So he's not scared of me. He's quite happy for me to pet him. So he just wasn't engaging, bless him. Anyway, enough of me rambling on under the rambler, and I will catch you again soon in the next few days. Good afternoon. It is Sunday, and we had a heavy frost today, and the sun is out, though not where I am currently at the moment. I'm down the side alley, and these are the raspberries. So it's not the warmest down here. The easterlies are not ripping, but cold enough, so I'm not quite sure how long I'll last out here. But I wanted to get started on the raspberries today. Now, most of my raspberries were gifted, and so I didn't really know if they were summer fruiting raspberries or autumn fruiting raspberries. But after a bit of looking over the last couple of years, these ones here are summer fruiting. And last winter, I took them out of pots. They were in sort of 30 and 50 litre pots, and they weren't doing particularly well there. And I put them in these, you can't quite see it, but budding, black raised planters, which I've got heaps of them down here. Great way for me to use this space without permanently putting things here. It means I can move things around, etc. So when I put them in, I put in one stem per area, so you can see by the little baubles here, they're my stakes, and the baubles are there so that if the cats jump off the fence, that they don't come down and hit them and hurt themselves. So that's why there's all the coloured baubles. A great way of preventing injuries like poke of eyes if you're using these little 30 centimetre, no, they're more than 30 centimetre, I think they're about 50 centimetre, often referred to as pea canes, but it's a good way of stopping them. It's quite easy to pop a little hole. These are just ping pong balls. I just bought the colourful ones and stuck some holes, but I will probably need some more this year. So I've got the canes, I just haven't got the ping pong balls yet. Right, back to raspberries. I've got strawberries on the brain. So when I planted these last year, I planted one cane per support structure. That's great because now I can actually work out what is this year's canes like that grew last summer and will fruit this year, and what is old. The other reason I'll know too, if I can show you, there's this one here. This has just got little fruiting structures left, so that's an old cane. But this one here with the buds is a new cane. So with summer fruiting raspberries, you remove the old canes and leave the new canes. So once they're fruited on their wood, that's it, they're done. They don't do another year. Okay, it's the ones that grew last year that will pull out this summer's fruit for me. So I've just brought you in a bit closer. So this is the old cane, and you can see the wee bits that had the fruiting structure on it, and it's quite a paler brown. And this is the new cane, and you can see the wee buds just here, and it's quite a bit darker. So these are the ones that I'll be keeping, and these are the ones that I'll be snipping out at the base. As I prune them, I'll also tie the new canes to the support sticks. So there's a few weeds in here as well. Don't look. Yeah, I haven't really tidied this up since they fruited in the summer. Right, okay, so let's do this one as an example. So I tie my fruit canes up, and you don't have to, but I just do it because the wind down here can be pretty ferocious. So just to give the canes a bit of support. I'll just take that out for a sec. So this is my old cane, just snip it right at the base. There we go, done. And just get rid of that. Some people like to use their raspberry canes as supports for their peas, but you've got to be really careful because raspberry canes are notorious for rooting, so I could have stuck that in and it may have taken off again, but as a new plant. But if you do that, you need to leave them a season drying somewhere for that. I don't bother, I just put them in the waste. I don't put them in my compost because they're just too woody. They just don't break down well enough in my cold composting. You know, maybe if you had a hot compost, yeah, tidy it up a wee bit. Right, so then just bring my stake in, pop them down to the bottom, just bring that up and give my cane a bit of support so that when it's in full leaf and we get a howling easterly down here, it doesn't get bent right over. Right, I'm just going to keep poddling along here and we'll do a bit of speedy to music and see how we go. turned into a popsicle, so I've done 2 beds. It's not too bad. I definitely had to get some more ping pongs, and some of the sticks broke as I was going. So yeah, I've got, if I remember rightly, got 2 more beds of summer fruiting, and then I've got 3 pots that need to go into beds which I've bought. Yeah, that one's a summer fruiting, and then I've got 2 more, of which I think one might be an autumn fruiting as well as one of the big planters. So yeah, just got to tidy them up and work out. I top up the dirt and compost and what have you as well, but as I'm turning into a polar pop, I think I'll leave it there for today and come back this week and finish these up. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully, because they're fairly easy to prune. But we'll also go through pruning an autumn fruiting one, and then we'll discuss, yeah, there's not a lot of difference. I mean, it's A, when they fruit, and B, how you prune them. And if you don't know what you've got, if you haven't bought them commercially and what have you, it's just about waiting a summer to see when they fruit. So, which is what I had to do with one of my autumn fruiting ones, because it was a gifted, and all these. And then I just popped all these little labels in, and I just put the writing to the things so that they don't fade. Right, I'm going to go and get warmed up. Good afternoon. It is Monday. It's around about 1:30. Sun's disappeared, unfortunately. We didn't get a frost, but it ain't tropical out here. There's a mixture of an easterly/northerly going on at the moment, so it is chilly. But I am determined to get this rambling rose sorted, and I have organised the family to give me a hand. One of the reasons why I want to get a lot done today is that the weatherman is forecasting more rain. So this ground's not going to get any more solid for me to be able to put a step stool/ladder on to get up onto the raised bed to then prune the rose. Now I can hear you all shouting, don't get up there, Dawn. It's okay, I'm going to have family here. They're going to be right behind me, hanging on to me, yada yada, all that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to do anything stupid. I've just tested it, and I can stand quite easily 1 foot on each side of the flat part of the raised bed, so I'm quite safe once I'm up there. The family got me up there and got me back down, so that's fine. And it's not a ladder, it's a sort of steppy stool ladder, and it's got nice flat round ends, so it's not digging in and wobbling a lot. I'm only going to do as much as I can do, and then see how I go. Probably not going to be able to tie it up today, but the family can do a lot of the tying up for me. It's the pruning, because none of them really have pruned roses before. So I mean, even hubby, his idea of pruning a rose, bless him, is heck. So yeah, and while it's not extra special if you cut it that way as opposed to a 45, I just want to make sure that I've got my long leaders, and that's something that we'll talk about more once I can show you them and expose them up there and amongst everything else. So how are we going to do it? Because my family don't want to be on camera, which is fair enough, that they're going to get me up there. They're going to operate the camera for me, so you can see me very briefly. We're not going to do a lot of filming of me up there, but once I've sort of done a wee bit of filming, that you can see what I'm up to, then I'll get on with it. I'm probably going to have to come up and down a few times because my back won't stand for me to be up there all that, like a half an hour, an hour. So yeah, that was the plan. So let's give this a go and see how we go. We can only try what we can try. Okay, I'm up here, and this is the rose that I'm going to have a go at. I am firmly ensconced. I've got feet either side. Family are just out of camera, so I'm nice and safe. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start pruning and tossing, and I will bring you back at the end of it. Okay, so it may not seem a lot more is being done, but the wheelie bin is full, and I've been chopping up bits, so it's full of chopped up bits, not big long bits. So I've taken quite a lot off, and it's sort of hard to show you on here. I need to get onto the other side and work out how many what I call the long leaders. Now, what is a long leader? Give me a sec and I'll see if I can point to them using the secateurs, the long ones. I couldn't balance the secateurs. So if I can point, sorry, the long leaders are these big long canes, and you can't see the very top of them, but you want around a half a dozen of them that are quite supple to bend over the top of the arbor, because I've only got the one rose. I want it to bend over and cascade down the other side. Now, last winter when I pruned it, I had, I think, about 3, maybe 4 of them, and I was quite happy with that. And I mean, as you can see, it went nuts. Now, what I've got to check out is the health of the current ones and whether I need to put any more in. I'm still not sure. So I've actually got several, well, 1, 2, 3, got about another 4 huge long ones that I haven't cut off on this side yet, till I work out if I want to bend them all the way over. So everyone just got too cold, and I just got tired of standing up there for any length of time. The back was kicking in. So this is going to be a multi-day event, and yeah, definitely. I mean, the bin's full, so I'm not going to be able to do much more today. What you did miss was Lou. He was determined to try and get to me. So while I was standing here, he was climbing the arbour on the other side to try and get to what I was doing up on this bit here. But short arms, so I can only reach so far. So plan is work on the other side. I may actually have to get someone to help me, and like a friend who can climb ladders that knows about roses, and the feet on the middle bit because I can't quite get to it, it's too high for me. So yeah, let's see. I won't do any more recording of the rose pruning and what have you, but I will let you know when I finish the rose and report on it, and it may not be this week. Good afternoon. It is beautiful out here. It's Tuesday. There's a very gentle breeze. We had no frost, and it must be about 14 or 15 degrees out here. And I'm down the side alley at the moment. Now, my plan today was to show you how to prune autumn fruiting raspberries, but there's a big hole in it. I haven't got any. I was absolutely sure last winter I had bought autumn fruiting raspberries. I know I'm pretty sure I ordered some, and I had ordered a couple of summer fruiting ones, including a yellow one, which I got, and I got 2 more red ones, one of which I thought was an autumn fruiting one, but I've just been through the labels and they are all summer fruiting. Duh. Oh well. So I'll have to get around to ordering a autumn fruiting 1 or 2, but I have to find some room for them first because it's a bit crowded here. Have to think about that. Instead we'll talk about them because autumn fruiting raspberries are the easiest raspberries out to actually prune. So summer fruiting raspberries we went through the other day, and you prune the wood that fruited last year and leave the new wood that grew last year, which will fruit this coming year. With autumn fruiting raspberries, you just clip down the whole lot, okay? There's no having to work out which cane is which. You just prune down all the canes, and they come up in spring, summer, they grow, they fruit, and that's it. You cut them down again. So they're really easy to prune because there's no having to work things out. Now, there's 3 autumn varieties. Let me see if I can remember them. Autumn Bliss, Heritage, and ebony. So yeah, they're the three available here in New Zealand. So yeah, that was silly of me. I don't know how I did that. But that's okay. We went through the pruning of the raspberries, the summer fruiting ones, which are the more common, the other day. So I'm just going to get on with pruning these and leave the vlog here. And I'll catch up with you for a coffee and chat, or cup of tea and a chat. We'll see what happens. Well, it's that time of week for a cuppa and a chat. So what did we get up to this week? Well, it was sort of a week of pruning, really. We started off with the raspberries and got some of the ones pruned, and the summer fruiting ones pruned. Got a couple of pots done, and then I came out again today and yeah, I realised I actually don't have any autumn fruiting ones. I was sure I did, but anyway, it's not a biggie if I don't. I'll try and get some. Interestingly, I finished pruning all the rest of them, and there's one pot that is actually putting out leaf, new leaf, so right from bud. The weather is crazy. I mean, it's a gorgeous day today, and yeah, I'm sitting out here with a cup of tea, and it's probably about 14 or 15 degrees. Very nice for middle of July. Next, we had a couple of goes at the rose, the rambling rose. So I had pruned everything I could from standing level initially, and then we had a second go at it where the family helped me get up safely and securely up onto the raised beds. They've got big planks, like over 10 centimetres wide on either side. So I stood on those with family hovering very close to by, and chopped away. I got to the point that I couldn't actually reach any further, and by the time I had got down and chopped all that up, I was freezing. So I came in. It's going to be another at least one more go at that, but probably two. And I may have to get someone to give me a hand to get that top bit done. We'll see how I go. Next bit is going to be on the shade side, and I'll chop all that away and see what I'm left with. I've got at least another three or four long leaders standing straight up that I am tempted to pull across, but I've already got about 4. I don't want to overcrowd it because it is a limited space and it does grow really big. So yeah, I'll completely tidy it up before I decide whether to put another maybe 2 of those across, but decisions will be made and I'll let you know what happens. Just like to thank everyone who's subscribed today. It's awesome. As I always say, it's lovely seeing that number tick up. It just shows that what I'm doing is what you're wanting to see. However, if you haven't subscribed today, it is free to subscribe, even though they use the word subscribe. The button's just down there. And we'd love you to join in with everything that's going on the channel. In addition, I have a Facebook page by the same name, the Kiwi Barefoot Gardener, and I post there daily, sometimes twice a day, of what's going on with me and the cats. So what am I planning for next week? I'm planning to do the roses and go through with you doing the roses out the back garden, and just, discuss the do's and don'ts for them. The other thing I'm planning to do is have a chat about a thing called killer compost, and that is compost that has got a herbicide in it, and it's contaminated, that compost, and unfortunately it does get sold on. So we're going to have a wee chat about that and how you know you've got it, how you can deal with it, and how you can test for it. So I'm going to leave it there now, finish my cup of tea, and I might just keep pottering along here for a bit longer. It's beautiful out here at the moment. But until next week's vlog, it's bye from me.